Welcome tinokugamuchira nemufaro mukuru to another episode where we as Dzimbanhete discuss what's going on, what's happening, and what we are currently working on. My name is MaitaShonga, Rutendo Bako, and I'm happy to have Sinyoro Sekuru Chiko Chazunguza with me today to discuss our latest project where we are launching Dzimbanhete in the virtual space. It's quite exciting. I bet you'd be interested. What do you mean Dzimbanhete is going in the virtual world? Perhaps Sekuru can tell us a bit more as we start this discussion.
Yes, thank you. Ndinotenda Shonga, ndinotenda vateereri vose. We are so excited. This is one of the things that we actually didn't imagine we would be doing when we started off with the Dzimbanhete Arts and Culture Interactions, and in particular the All Africa Village, a village where we promised our community that we'll be building uh, villages that symbolize or that represent all the 54 African countries, taking 3 cultures from each country that has some outstanding architecture. But after having built on that idea and after having constructed and also researched intensely on the information that the cultures hold in terms of their architecture, we have now come to a point where we say, oh, technology is also building up. There's a lot that can be done through technology that allows for accessibility and so forth. So we've decided to take the All Africa Village now into the virtual world. So we've been working with some tech people, and yes, soon people are going to be enjoying the All Africa Village from their homesteads, their offices, their schools, and so forth.
Yeah,
That's what we've been working on.
that's very
Yeah.
good. And I
Yeah.
think as Dzimbanhete, what we've been mainly trying to do is also to sort of bring back people to the land, allow people a space where they can reconnect with the land. And, us being diasporic Africans and other people, we're all over the world, all over. And it's sometimes it's just not feasible to come back to the land, to come and see it. But that should not sort of limit us from these experiences. And I think that's where the idea really came from to say, so how
Yeah.
can we make it accessible to everyone? We
Mm.
the metaverse now provides this platform where, you know, we can be presenting and represented, and we can design and craft as we please. And I think one of the things that we've been doing has been, bringing together or collecting information. And I know, Sekuru, you're really behind this research, this accuracy in terms of information.
Yes, our team actually complements each other very well. Look at how you present things. We have myself, an artist, uh, coming from the creative world. We have Samaita, who's a cultural holder himself, a cultural practitioner. That's like his full-time job, full-time experience. And so when we look at information that builds culture, when we look at other cultural information that we may need to build this All Africa Village, we are very sensitive. One, in the making, the materiality, which is my side. And then you have Samaita, who then goes into fine line and fine tune how the information we're going to be presenting speaks well for the culture. And that's very important for us. It has caused us, yes, to be a bit slow, but also to be sure of what we are presenting. And like you said, Shonga, the diaspora. Diaspora is it's an interesting concept. Normally, we talk of the diaspora as people who have left the borders of Africa. But to go deeper, you can realize that most people live in the diaspora, even if they are in their own countries. It's cultural diaspora. Most of us Africans have what we call kumusha, a village, and we live in towns. And some people grow up primarily in towns and never really reach to the kumusha, to the village. So they are actually detached from this very culture that we're representing here. So you actually have people in the towns, let's say in Zimbabwe, people are in Harare who are very nostalgic about their kumusha. They miss their kumusha. Circumstances do not always allow them to be there. So again, here is a presence in their midst where they can actually access that kumusha, access that information that they never really got to access and growing up because of that diaspora. Then you have the major diaspora outside there, and well, particularly for African diaspora, this is an opportunity for them now to interact with their home areas. And for our other international communities, again, to know us better, here is a chance, here is a platform where you can actually go and visit a Zimbabwean village on your phone, on your laptop, in your own homestead. I mean, I'm as excited as they would be because for me it's also a new thing that we've broken upon.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm, mm.
yeah,
And I think, Sekuru, you talk about some very important issues, Kumusha and being in the diaspora, different countries and things like that. Um, it's it's quite interesting how the development of this project has also coincided with Africa Day. And
mm-hmm,
I remember just last week reading a post on social media, and there was this person who was questioning, we have holidays for a lot of other things, but in many African countries, there is no holiday for Africa Day. For that one day that, we say this is our day where we celebrate
mm,
us, it's not even a holiday. And there was a whole conversation around it. And for us to launch on this day is particularly special because perhaps it will, open people's eyes to what it
mm,
should really mean to us.
mm, and for it to be just a day, it's
Mm,
uh it's something that has to be debated. So we call it for us here, we're always living within the culture. We're always doing that which is necessary that could be done on a given day. But we also want to see this as as a month, as 2 months, as a season. We want to see it as a year. We want people to be able to celebrate their Africanness or celebrate the African culture at any given time. People should have access to that which propels celebration. Yes, it's a pity. It's not a holiday. Luckily, this year it's a Sunday. Uh, and here it is crossed onto a Monday for us, where we actually have our final launch. On the 25th, we're having this celebration where we are again immersing ourselves physically in the culture and also entertaining other people through that culture. But the final launch is really on the 26th. Yeah. Yeah.
oh.
And there was a question I got from a friend. They said, why have we kept this a mystery? Because as I was inviting them to the launch and they wanted to come over, I said, yes, you can come over, but you'll still be able to witness this on your phone. So he kept asking and asking more questions. And he said, why are we keeping it? Why are you keeping it a mystery? I don't know whether you have an answer for them on that.
Well, when you build something of this magnitude, and particularly within a seemingly new field, there is always that a need to keep it close at heart. And
Mm,
I think it's been something very unexpected, and I think our audiences are going to be really surprised that this is uh, a project we are taking on, and this is another direction we are embarking on, because people have always known us to be of the physical spaces. People have always known us to be of indigenous architecture, of building, of material. So all the mystery comes because the need to surprise, but also the need to keep it at heart. I'm going to be honest and say, I was discussing with someone very close to me about the project, and they even say to me, "Oh, you're launching it now because what we are launching is the first model, and we are going to build a world around it. Are you not scared that other people will take the idea?" But we said, of course, I mean, there is always that risk when you are launching something different and something new. But we are the first. So this is a risk that we take on being the first. I don't know, Seguro.
True. That's true. I mean, with ideas, uh, it's been like that, I think, ever since. Ever since people started creating in the contemporary world, that ideas get taken. But basically, for some of us who've been in the creative world for a very long time, uh, you don't get the heart satisfaction when you take an idea that's not yours. Yes, you may run with it, make whatever you make with it, but deep down inside, you always feel the guilt that you did not create, you did not originate this idea. So we cannot be afraid of people uh, who will say, get inspired by what we're doing. It's actually good if they get inspired, but to take it as it is, well, that's something else. But yes, there will always be pioneers. There will always be those who will follow. So we have lived a life where we would love to be pioneers. Hence, we don't fear putting out our work there. And also having the art background, you always create in your studio, dark or bright in that studio, closed or open in that studio. And then you always take your work to the open spaces, the galleries, where people can see your work. And if you're afraid of people taking your work or stealing your ideas, then you'll never show. And nobody will ever know what you are creating or, what you've been up to. So here we are braving it out, you know. If it's good, we're going to be happy. If it's not as good, we're also going to be happy to hear what people have to say. And like you said, we're starting with a structure. We're starting with one structure. That's what we're launching with, and we're building up from there. For us, this one structure is just one of what we have done in the past. Okay, so it's easy for us to stretch and go on to other structures so that people can really enjoy the fullness of African culture. Yes, we're starting with Imba yaAmai, which we built years back, the model, uh, and again had to rebuild it because of certain circumstances. And people have gotten to know this structure very much in the country. We've had so many visitors, schools, colleges, people from near and far coming into this structure and us like giving them information. And what we really enjoyed with this Imba yaAmai is the Zulu Shona cultural structure that's built like as the first uh, structure that's built when establishing a homestead. So I was excited as I was giving tours to realize that even people who are now gray, older than myself, uh, didn't know some of the aspects of this art. They didn't know why, what, and the names and all those things. They didn't know, and they would like really applause at the little information we would give them. So this is the heart that we really know. I mean, everything has a center, everything has where it starts from. So we're starting from something that we really know, us as the organizers, us as the initiators of this, so that as we go, we also get to represent other cultures with the same intensity, with the same passion, and hence the Imba yaAmai as the starting point. It's a very special space. It's a very special structure that a lot of people think they know about, but they know very little. So this will help them know even further. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So that's it. I'm excited.
I
Yeah.
think in
I can't hide
Bayamai,
my excitement.
that makes two of us, Seguro. That makes two. And I think
Yeah.
Yaamai really, uh, even from the model that we are launching, the information that is there, like you rightfully say, there are some people who are older than you who didn't even know this information. And we've taken a lot of time to collect and bring together this information. But I'm also excited for the children, for the education institutions who are going to
Mm,
be
mm, mm, mm.
interacting with
True.
this project. Because initially, for some schools that are far, they could not access Dzimbanhete physically to come and see, to come and learn.
Mm,
And now we are
mm.
providing this platform where kids can have a whole lesson or a couple of
True.
lessons where they're
True.
interacting with Imba and the different
Mm,
representations of our
mm,
culture and our indigenous ways of knowing that are housed in this space, and even the spaces that are going to be built from this first model going forward. Um,
mm.
I think it's really, really very exciting. But
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people would probably want to find out, oh, but we know you, Shonga, we know you, Sinyoro, we know you, Samaita. You don't
Mm,
really have a tech background per se to this level. How did you manage to
mm.
do it, and how has been the experience? And that's
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Mm,
Uh, it's an interesting one. We all don't have that tech kind of experience or background. Uh, but what has been important in like particularly for me, this whole all Africa village for me has been like an artwork. It's been like an artwork, right? The same way you can take pieces and put them together and create an assemblage has been the same sort of principle we've been using in creating this. You have a Zezuru hat, you have a Ndebele hat, you have a Tonga hat, you have a Tswana hat, you have a Khoisan hat, you have a Kavango hat, you have the Nigerian Igbo compound. This is like you are putting things together. So if you were to look from above, this is like a vast tapestry of African architecture. Then underneath it carries all this cultural knowledge that goes deep. So that's from the creative perspective. So again, the creativity does not just end there. I fully believe real art also has a very interesting process behind it. So the process that makes that piece of art is also as important as that artwork. So here we are, we've been going through processes. So even when we came up now with this All Africa Village, the immersion, the VR, the modeling and stuff, it's not like we knew what we wanted to do. It's not like we knew the technology itself, which is like similarly like creating a piece of art. If you know what you're going to do, then you don't have to do it because you know already. Otherwise, you immerse yourself because you want to explore. So we wanted to explore. So we started finding the pegs, the pillars that would make our exploration work. So those were some of the challenges we face now. Who does this? And what exactly do we want? We have seen, we have known, but how does this thing come to be? So we started hunting for the tech people. We started looking around. Of course, I think the same time we're having our website developed by one very, very articulate technician, Enko of Nafuna TV. We interacted a lot, and I think from him we also learned a lot. But we went on again to find other people and digging for more information. Then finally, we bumped into uh, one young man. His name is Joel, Chandauka, I think. Joel, very, very down to earth. He is a young student from the University of Zimbabwe, very down to earth, very easy to communicate with, which is something I found about the tech people. They're very good at communicating. They tell you what they are going to do, they tell you what they've done, and also so the feedback and the like back and forth of the information. And when you tell them, okay, change this, can we have that? It was all like so smooth. Joel made it so easy for us, and so we have this final model. And unfortunately, Joel is busy. This is the time for exams. So Joel is not as available as we would have wished. But we're happy again. We've engaged, uh, Matamba, right?
Yes, yes.
Matamba. We've engaged Matamba. Matamba are going to take up like the bigger chunk of the project. This is a team of Matamba Film Lab. This is a team run by Caesar Mukwedini, who who is a superstar. She runs this all-female kind of station for film production, AR, XR, and all these things. She's like there, and she trains lots of youngsters, young ladies as well, to get into that kind of space where they can create. So we are very excited. I think we are learning as we go. When we sit down and have a meeting with Joel, with the team, and he's telling you all these things that you don't know, but he's making it all make sense. And then you sit down with Caesar, and she's telling you all these options, and you're like, okay, that's the right option we want. It's all very exciting. We're learning a lot. I hope we don't get so excited that we start designing ourselves. We'll just leave it to the guys who have been doing it for a very long time.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
I think for me, one of the most interesting things was how much the project challenged us or is challenging us because we have to
Mm,
come out of our comfort zone being
uh-huh,
creating physical spaces. Here we are working
uh-huh,
with technologists, and you know, you spoke about the website, and I think looking back and reflecting, the website was perhaps how this whole project, where it started. Because I remember you were always
mm,
saying, no, I don't, we don't want the static website. We want something that is
mm,
fluid, something that is alive.
mm,
And that
mm,
is how
mm,
we started working with Ngo for this Dzimbanhete website. And I think from there,
mm,
it sort of gave us an insight into how the things that we've built on the ground can actually be on virtual spaces, and how then do we expand from there. So
mm,
it's also been a journey of expansion, a
mm,
journey of
mm.
making sense of this new world, this new space, the
You're right.
metaverse.
Yeah, you're right. Like people have known us for what we've been doing, like dealing with immersing ourselves in culture and taking the practicalities of it, and building these buildings we're doing, and having projects that have to do with indigenous culture. To some people, it's been like we've gone too deep, and we've gone deep down into the culture. And for them to now hear that we're dealing with, you know, the finest, highest kind of technology that's there right now, it must also be a big surprise, or probably a big challenge, because Dzimbanhete has been thought of like being deep down in the roots, or sort of, unfortunately, being backward as people would want to present the culture, or people have kind of imagined the culture right now. The imagination is that anything very cultural, anything like that has to do with indigenous culture is backward. So here we're presenting another surprise where we're saying, no, 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 no. That information can still reflect itself in the newest of the technology that's available, and you can access it without feeling any mysticism. We're demystifying what people have mystified for no apparent reason. So we are happy to be on this path. Yeah, yeah, you're right,
I
Shonga.
think it stands true to one of our pillars, which is connecting, because we are connecting that which is old with that which is new,
Right.
that which is
Uh-huh.
known and that which
Mm,
is
mm,
still unknown. And I think this
mm,
idea of
mm,
connecting, and even connecting with the technologists, because we are working with people who have no under proper, like, in-depth understanding of culture and our indigenous ways, and when we are working with them, it's also for that, connecting them to the culture, and we connect to the technology part. And
mm,
the way that these lines are intertwining is quite an
mm,
interesting form
mm,
on its
mm,
own.
mm, mm. And do you know that the school system here in Zimbabwe in particular has been pushing so much for a heritage-centered approach in the learning? So it's like tararang, here we go, you know, here we go.
Yeah.
Schools are into technology. They're pushing also for heritage sort of based education. And now here we're presenting for them a package that makes it easy for a teacher to explain to the learners, and also for the learners to learn in an interesting way. Kids love technology. Kids love cell phones. Kids love computers. Uh, it's I mean, people who have children or who have kids at almost 1 year old, 2 year olds, they see you holding this thing, so they also want it. By
Mhm.
the time they are 3, they know how to maneuver certain things. By
Mhm.
the time they are 5, they can show you certain things. They'll be showing you how to operate your phone, and they know how to play games and so forth. So here we are also, we're also saying we want to get into this space with this culture that's unknown. We want to get this into this gaming as well, expanding this which we're launching now is going to keep expanding into a space where there are interactions, a space where there's gaming, a space where you can buy a goat, you can be a citizen, you can, we're going to go into all those things, and we'll be, unraveling them as we get close to presenting them. But this, I believe, is so important for children to learn about their culture, to learn about where our people came from. And schools should be the ones to run after this thing a lot, you know. Uh, for now, we're presenting this thing. Uh, it's out there for everybody to watch. We never know, or you never know out there, whether things are going to change. But for now, enjoy what we're presenting to you, and there's more to come. There's more to
Indeed.
come.
I think,
Yeah.
Sekuru, we are storytellers. What we do
Mm-hmm.
is to tell our stories. And
Mm-hmm.
this new project provides us again a platform to tell stories. One thing that
Mm-hmm.
people will see as they go into the Imba yaAmai is the element of storytelling, where we are telling people this is what does it do, what is its significance. And I know after viewing it and after going through it, you're going to be thinking, oh, what else? What else?
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
without going too much into detail,
Mm-hmm.
what else can people look forward to?
Wow. Uh, Hard to say, but this there this there's information in this space that's well laid out, information that's well presented for everybody to know, everybody to interact with. You walk in, you see things, you can turn around, you can you can then sort of ask, not in terms of voice or anything, but you'll click and you'll get some information, and that's really cool. That's amazing. That's like that's easy. That's easy. Yeah, that's very easy. So it's people come out of that heart loaded with information.
Mhm.
And I'm excited. I'm excited.
Mhm.
That information, though, I'll go back to the challenges that we had. If we had challenges in creating this thing and making it be was okay. Like I said, we had very supportive team, a very supportive team. But at the same time, the technology itself may not be able to afford certain interactions. The technology itself does not allow for certain things as yet on this platform. So, in as much as we wanted a lot of information to be in there, there are still some limitations within what the technology can offer. But as we go on, as we experience as well, as we grow with our audience, their support will enable us to grow. As we grow, we'll be able now to even be in touch with that technology that allows for more information. We have information that you'll see in there, but there are stories behind it. So we couldn't like really give you all the stories as well at once. But for now, you are going to be happy with what you see. The
Mhm.
audience are going to be happy with what they see, what they
Mhm.
experience.
Oh
Yes.
yes, which is very, very good. And I think another thing when you were talking about the spaces that we are using, one thing that definitely people will look forward to is we will grow into a different space that carries more, because the aim is to make it immersive and to add different
As much as
features
possible.
as much as
Mm.
possible from our culture. But
Mm.
Sekuru, you are a mentor to many, and you always provide some really good wisdom and nuggets. And uh, what do you think this project holds for the future of African culture?
Wow.
And this will be part
Wow.
of our closing, really.
Well, for cultures that have been viewed from a perspective of curio, from a perspective of otherness, this project will now command a space or enable the commanding of a space that's where there's no apology, where there's no excuse me, this is what we do. But people then get to realize that, oh, yes, there is a continent that has its ways in their various forms, but this is a continent that has its ways and it's presented, and I can actually access it every time I go on my laptop or on my computer, my phone. When I click certain things, there's something that appears on this corner that's calling me to go there, to go and see what this continent is about. Because there's so much absence when you look at your screen, always. There's nothing that dashes onto your screen that tells you about Africa. Maybe tourism, maybe a business that's doing, you know what, but you may see something from India, you may see something from China, you may see something from another continent. So we want our continent to be represented even on this very platform that's being generated, and it's growing. They say the internet is it's still its youngest stages as it is. It's still at its youngest. So let's go in as well and let's be part of the growth. Let's grow together with the internet. Let's do exactly what we would have loved to do. Technology is allowing us to do that. You can now record a grandfather's story and turn it into images. Can you imagine? So are we doing that? How many of us are doing that? So we would like this platform also to be an encouragement to all other Africans who are in the creative sector, to all other Africans who are into content building. We know there's content creation that's happening, but sometimes we are just joking. We are not going deep into what we should be presenting. We should understand where we came from, what we missed because of certain circumstances in history, and we shouldn't have time to just be playing, but to be constructing that which can enable our people to have their heads up high and face other peoples with pride and dignity without apology and without scorning others, but just being proud of who you are. I think that's what this project aims to do.
That's good. Thank you so much, Sekuru. Dzimbanete's vision is always groundbreaking in whatever direction it takes, and I think that is quite amazing. So thank you so much for joining us. Please look at the link below to see the project that we've just launched and enjoy. Take good care.
Thank you. Thank you very much.